We saw Gigi come out to do individual workouts. Is he available for selection for Sunday, or is he out?
No, we don't know yet. We're going to do one more test tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see after that.
And is that also true of Jande? And well, I assume Steen is out. Is it also true of Zonde?
No, no, the rest are out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how's Rios looked then this week?
Good, good, very good. I mean, you saw a little bit of that against Toronto. He's been really, really good. He's a guy that can combine very well there. And yeah, he's been showing really, really good in the training session. So we expect the best.
I know that you appreciate the depth of the team and like the depth of the team, but is it slightly frustrating that the injuries are starting to pile up again, similar to 2 years ago?
Well, at any moment, injuries, especially when there are significant injuries, I think it's disappointing and frustrating. But honestly, I think that is also a good opportunity for some other guys to come here and show in a home match that they want to compete. So yeah, for me it's part of football, and we need to adapt and move on.
You've talked about the leadership group this season a few times. How important are they in moments like this where you do have the injuries?
Yeah, it's very important. I think. I mean, we're okay. It's not like I want to sound pessimist or something. We're okay. We're in a good moment. The players are doing very good in the training sessions. They're doing everything they can. They're understanding the tactics. They're training hard. So we are good. Of course the injuries, yeah, are part of this, but the leadership group is doing a very good job. I think they are keeping not just the motivation and the fun and this, because that's easy to do, is the commitment. Is not even the motivation, because commitment is bigger than motivation. Motivation is for amateurs. Professionals, they have commitment. Even when they are not motivated, they have to do their jobs. So keeping that mentality in the locker room is very important, and I think that the leadership group is doing a very good job on that.
Talk about Philadelphia. I think a lot of times we focus on their press, but how do they test you? How do they test your defensive side?
It can be a test for sure, if we allow them to test us, right? If we allow them to control the type of game we're playing, I think they can hurt us for sure. So for me, it is very important that we control the type of game we want to play against them. If we do that, I think we're going to be in a good spot. With that saying, Philadelphia has shown, especially this year, that they don't need a lot of possession. They don't need a lot of chances at any moment. A long ball, a second ball, and they can put the ball on the back of the net. A set piece, they can score goals. So it's difficult. So it's one of those games that we need to be really, really good on the ball, managing very, very good side to side, through the middle, through the flanks, and move the ball fast so they cannot catch the ball for long periods of time, and we can be more in our final third than in theirs. So I think we need to control that. If we do that, I think we're going to be okay.
Talk about the team being in a good place, but when you get to come back home and play in front of the home crowd, especially after a weekend on the road, does it give them that extra, boost, or for lack of a better word, once the game actually kicks off and you're in front of a familiar crowd?
Yes, I think that's our home advantage. That I think, in my opinion, is one of the biggest in the league, because of the stadium, the atmosphere, the fans, the 17s are very loud, and opponents feel it too. So it's, of course, I feel like our players are very, they play with a little bit more confidence at home. That's true. But at the same time, I think the impact on the opponents is also good. So yeah, we're aware of that.
There are announcements, I think, this week about the expansion of this facility. How does that impact you with the main roster? And what does that show about the growth of this team, to have the expansion of the practice facility and everything here?
Well, yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, when you have an owner, Arthur Blank, that is willing to do this type of investments, $23 million to expand to a total $80-something million for this facility. I mean, it's amazing. We are already in a good position with our training facility. We feel like we have a lot of good things here, and now we want to do an expansion. It's amazing. We want to have a couple more areas for the players to rest them, to have more recovery, for having better spaces for them to get along as well, more recreative spaces and more areas where they can be better individually and collectively. So it's going to be massively important. Also, the academies, I think they're going to have also a very good space, because our academies are in a very good place as well, I think. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very good thing once we get it.
And how important is that just for the overall morale of the team, but also recruitment and retention of the roster? How important is this part of it to just the overall atmosphere for a player?
Yes, I think it is already there. I think players know that this training facility is already good. So I think for that it's already a positive when you are talking about recruiting and scouting, and that when we show the players where they're going to be every day, where they're going to have breakfast, where they're going to have lunch, where they're going to do the gym, where they're going to train, their locker rooms, everything. I think that's very important as well. But one thing that I want to add to that is that, of course, it's massively important, the investment, the $80-something million in here, but the people is also very important. The people that work here, the staff members here that make our lives every day super, super great, the people that clean here, the security guys that come here, good morning, always with a warm welcome, the staff that works super hard there, the physios, everyone. That is the real plus that we get here, and that's the thing that when the player comes to this environment they love about is the staff is great here as well.
You've added a lot of mix from the twos coming into this first team. Just how has that been, adding them in and seeing the chemistry in training with everyone else?
Well, I think it's going in the right direction. Of course, it takes time to yell out at times. So we'll see. We have a few new partnerships, maybe, Bartek, Tristan. So we'll see. At times it can be a Gianni, it can be Dax. I think Dax is also a new player for us that of course, he brings different things. Now the center back with Derek, Luis Abraham, he knew, but Estian. So a couple new partnerships, especially in that part of the field. Up front, we've stay pretty similar, but in that part of the field, center back, center mids, we have a couple additions that I think they're doing a good job. But I know that still they have a couple things to do better in terms of the coordination and understanding each other better. That will come with time.
How important was it Tuesday to get kind of a simulation of game play, especially for guys like Luis who haven't played a lot lately?
Yes, a couple of things. Number one is the rhythm of playing 60 minutes. It was a really good game. It was really, really intense. The numbers were over the roof. The players applied a very, very high intensity game. But also the football ideas, because at times you can just make some runs, strides on the side, and they get the same amount of HID, VHID. That was the main objective. But soccer-wise, it was really good. I felt that the ideas of the team were there. We were building very good, on balancing their midfield very well. The final third was lacking a little bit of creation in there, but even with that, we created a few good chances. So it was really, really positive. The outcome of the match was really good, and we are really pleased with that group. That is going to be very important. And you see it, whether it's injuries or rotations or Open Cup or Leagues Cup. We're going to have multiple games this year. We're going to need everyone. And already there are 2 goalkeepers and 2 field players that haven't played. Only 4 out of the whole roster. The rest at least have a couple minutes in the season. So they've been already important. They've been really impactful. So 30 minutes in the second half, 20 minutes in the second half. We make changes, and the guys coming from the bench are really impactful. So we need to continue with that. Whoever is on the field need to do the best, and we are going in the right direction, I think.
Is there any part of the expanded training facility that you're most excited about?
Probably I want to see that, especially that new area for the players. I think they're going to have a couple more areas to hang out, to be there, a couple recovery rooms. They're going to be really modern. They're going to have some science in
the
behind.
high altitude room and
the
cognitive room.
Yes.